Today I started out with a fully charged battery on the 12-inch monitor, plus I put a battery monitor on the balance lead of the battery I'm using for it. It stayed on the whole time today. It's the second time I've ever used it, period. So I took off in stabilized mode and then moved it in and out of altitude hold from time to time.
Altitude hold. Stabilize. Altitude hold. Stabilize.
Now let's see what kind of jello we get with that and if it goes in and out when you go in and out of altitude hold. So I'm going to show you a video with the OSD overlay. So you can see there is jello still in it, some vibration in it when it's in stabilized mode and when it's in altitude hold mode. So I'm going to have to try to address that. Strange thing is this is the run cam video of that same flight. It doesn't seem to have as much jello as the walk snail does, but just trying to figure it all out. So let's look at some things in the telemetry log real quick, and then I'll tell you what my next attempt's going to be. Review a log here. This is the one from today. If we go in here and look at our tune, desired roll versus actual roll, these two graphs look like they almost overlay completely. There's a little glitch right there. There's something right here. But the desired roll is in red and the actual roll is in green. And if you scroll in on this stuff, move it around a little bit, you can see those graphs are almost exactly perfect. So if we look at desired pitch versus pitch, a little strangeness right here, some little bumps right there, but basically this is correct. Just wondering if the D term is a little high and it's causing just a little bit of oscillation. The props could be dinged up for all I know. So I think before I play with the tune, re-auto tune or do something like that, I'm going to try what this says in this last sentence. If altitude hold oscillates up and down, reduce by 50% PSC underscore POSZP and PSC underscore VELZ underscore P. I'm going to try that. This is just some information I have dug out on this. And again, it could be just dinged up props. Jello isn't as big a problem right now at this time than the number of satellites I'm getting connected, etc., etc., etc. So I think I might be where I need to move away from the house and out into one of my large fields for further testing. But we're going to come in here and do what that told me to do. So we're looking for PSC underscore POSZ underscore P. Cut that by 50%. Okay. 0.5. Again, don't worry about these when you're doing this stuff. Write that perimeter out. And also PSC underscore VELZ underscore P. Put this at 2.5. 2.5, I think is 50% of 5. Write that out. Little bit worried about these changes, but I guess we'll go fly and see what they do. Well, I don't see any difference in it, so I think I'm going to put those perimeters back. I took off in stabilized mode. Had 9 satellites at that point, so I like the HDOP too. So I don't see a lot of difference in the Jello. I did put it in loiter mode because I had more than 8 satellites, and it worked, which is what I was trying to get to yesterday. I was going to put it in loiter mode and then take it up and over the trees and out into the orchard using the monitor. I may do that again here. Got 10 satellites now. Loiter's doing well. Still got Jello in it. I wouldn't say that changing those perimeters did anything. So like I say, I'm going to put them back where they were. And I'm sort of at a loss of what to do right now. Back in stabilized mode and then in loiter, just trying to figure it out. So, not quite sure what to do next. Okay, I'm going to make a command decision here. I really don't like. Why don't I like it? Because I've got the 4,000 milliamp hour 6S Li-ion pack, lithium ion, charged, ready to go. That should give me about 20 to 25 minutes of flight time. I don't know if you noticed, this battery right now is down to 22.9. The 4 or 5 flights I flew with it, only about 6 minutes or so. It's probably the extent that the little 1400 milliamp hour 6S is going to go. It's not for long flight times, it's for punchy current for freestyle. But my mind wants to put the lithium ion battery on it and do what I was wanting to do yesterday. Now that I've proved loiter, go up 20-30 feet above the trees, move out into the orchard, old orchard next door. It's just an empty field now, part of it, and do some things over there using the monitor, because I've never flown with the monitor before. Yesterday was the first time I ever looked at it, but I got a lot of things accomplished. I know the monitor going on and off yesterday was just because of battery supply. Got that all worked out and a way to never have it happen again. It does work. The transmitter doesn't overheat in the 5-inch. The 5-inch does fly well, except for the jello problem. I just think if I put the big battery in it and fly it up over the trees where it's sort of out of visual line of sight, I thought about putting it over in the orchard down 20 feet from the ground and hitting return to launch, because that's set to 150 feet, to see if it'll come up over the trees and start coming down in the backyard. You can't let it do that on its own. It wanders enough with all my other platforms, even the Mavic Mini, that if you don't line of sight it down into the backyard here, you're going to hit a tree limb. But I'm going to refrain from doing that, and I'm going to try to go to a big open field next. That would be a better place for the first return to launch test, and play with it, and then we'll address the jello. I looked at the props again. Yeah, they're kind of scratched up from several flights I've done, but now there's no chips in them, so they're still intact. The jello's the least of my worries. I just really want a good flying platform. So I'm going to resist the urge to do more here until I've proved the platform a little more in a large field, especially return to launch. I think that's the best decision I can make. And then I've got to start digging, how would I solve the jello problem? There were times when it wasn't there. I don't understand why it comes and goes. And I've exhausted all my research to this point, so I'm going to have to dig deeper, do more research, and see what I can come up with. That's going to be it for today. Thank you, guys.